Here's an interesting thing, is that we've been practicing in our homes for a very long time, not even gonna date it, but it's long enough that you've now been in your space practicing your yoga. And there's something about that space now that has probably transformed a little bit for you, that now, you enter into that space and it's a place of safety and refuge and just a place to relax. And you filled that space with all of your good energies with every practice. So this is now your like magical room space that you have created. So I just wanted to start with that, and then we'll enter into a deeper acknowledgement of what you have surrounding you. So just take your comfortable seat, friends. And I'm going to start with one hand, one palm up, one palm down, whichever one. Maybe you roll your shoulders a little bit, and then the hands will kind of find their happy place on your thighs. We'll inhale, grow tall. As you exhale, let your eyes close, your chin to drop, your jaw to drop, your shoulders to drop. And softening your eyes. Just letting the lips part, the tongue rest. Start to absorb the energies that you're in, this place of calm and of spaciousness. This is your space for your self-care. So just feeling into everything that's swirling inside you. And start to feel that balance in the movement of the breath. So as you inhale all those good energies in the space you're in, you literally transform, that breath is transformed within you. And as you exhale, we release something out into this space. Just feel this transfer of energy. And the next time you exhale, let your mind travel to your palms and just change the positioning. So the opposite palm is up and the other one is down. And I'm just taking a few more breaths here. Deeply feeling into what you create for yourselves and recreate every time you get on your mat. And as you begin your next inhalation, let it lengthen you tall. And as you exhale with reverence, bring your hands together at your heart, bow your chin. And just repeating these 2 words to yourself. And if you want to add a third, you go ahead. I am. I am. Just seal all of that and open, practice, and chant Om together 3 times. Inhale. Bowing your chin, place your hands on your thighs, lift your chin, and open your eyes. Okay, we're going to start with a footy. So you can stretch your legs out, give them a little movement, and then take one foot. See, I always start with my left, so I'm going to start with my right today. Set it up however you like, and then just focus on that foot. Like, this is the most important thing you're going to do today. Just massaging, twisting, whatever works for all parts of this foot. We're going to get up to, I think they said 20 degrees tomorrow or today or whatever, very close, 17, 20. So just saying, hey, feet, we're going to start to go for more walks. And we're going to get so excited. Good. Okay. And then just give the top and the bottom a little rub. And we'll twist that whole foot. Good. Okay. And then take a moment in the pause. Look at the 2 feet. And if one looks gray and the other looks white or pink or brown or whatever color it is, that's normal. How weird that that's a normal thing. That the foot can turn into this lifeless color so quick. Okay. Just doing the same thing. Love this foot up, all parts of the foot, toes. And then again, just top and bottom, and a little twist. Yes, good. Okay, and then once again, just take a moment and look at the 2 feet, how much things have changed. Okay, give them a wiggle. Good. All right, so let's start on your backs. And I'm thinking, I didn't say we use a wall, but I think we're going to start with legs up the wall a little bit. And we'll just make it very nice and long, luxurious. I'm going to use the bolster to rest my head on. Yeah, put your socks on and get your stuff, whatever you need. Maybe it's a heating pad. You need that. And then, so I'm just going to take a nice angle. You can put something underneath your hips too, if you like. Yeah. Sorry, just kind of take the time. And when we start like this, your legs might feel a little resistant. This is first thing in the morning-ish. So just let them be. If you need to bend them, do that. And just feel into, this change of flow. So I have that, like I said, I'm using the bolster for the head. So the head is lifted a little higher than the heart. The arms wherever you like. Good. Softening. And then we'll just move the feet like we do. So I'm going to point one, flex the other, and then switch. I'm just moving my hands in the same way as the feet are going. So just watch your feet articulate and move. And then bring them into a more pointed place. So you might get the soles of the feet to the wall. They might not go there. You don't have to put in a lot of effort. Just feel like, the tops of the feet are stretching. Soften your shoulders. Your heart. And then we'll bring the feet into a bit of flexion. And again, you don't have to go anywhere more than the feet say they want to go. The backs of the legs are going to allow right now. And softening someplace even as you maintain that. Okay, I'm just going to bend the knees, soles of the feet to the wall, and hopefully you're in a good place, a good space for that. And we'll just pause here. Okay, let's keep the left foot at the wall, and we'll bring the right knee into your chest. Just rock it in and out a few times. And then we'll just let that right thigh kind of just drop in. So you might walk your hands down the shin. And if you want to straighten your left leg, heel at the wall, go ahead and do that. Now add a little flexion into both feet, but not super strong, just enough. And then releasing the belly, the back, heart, the hip crease. Okay.
So I have the left leg straight. I'm going to put the right foot beside it, straighten the right leg. You can have them bent. Maybe the arms over the head for a moment. Maybe they just rest on your bolster. Just make it a little bit of an extension. And then we'll bend the knees again. So right foot to the wall, left foot to the wall. Adjust your hips if you need. And then we'll take that left knee and change the interlace. Hug it in. Rock it in and out a few times, just kind of wake up the hip crease, the back. Okay, and we'll just hug this thigh in a nice way, shoulders not taking any stress. And then either stay here, straighten the right leg, right heel at the wall, little flexion into the left foot. And really softening. You know, it is the hip crease area we're softening, but if we can let the belly go and drop down to the back, you might find a little more space. And then we'll release that left foot to the wall or left heel to the wall, arms over your head or bent, resting on the bolster. Okay, so wherever you have your left leg straight or bent, and keep it there. I'm going to put the right foot on the floor and then heel toe the right foot out a little bit. We're just going to wave this right knee in and out. And you know, we do this sometimes like a half windshield wiper. So just let it be whatever it is. Might not even go out that far. Good. Okay. And then bring the knee up, walk that right foot in so it's maybe in line with your hip, and then drop that right knee out, and maybe it's going to come closer to the floor. You might walk the right foot more underneath your left leg. So just find some place here if you need to put a prop underneath your right knee. Just breathe. One more breath. And then we'll lift that right knee up. Bring the right knee into the chest. And then cross the right knee over, right ankle over your left knee. And the left leg can stay straight, it can bend, whatever works best. And we're just going to wave this right knee in and out a few times. Good. Okay. Now we'll move to a thread the needle. So it is early. You could just keep the left foot at the wall, right hand to your right inner thigh, and just press it away. And maybe that's the thread the needle. Or we bring that left thigh in and interlace the fingers behind the thigh or the shin. You know, but if this is too much, just keep the foot at the wall. I'm just going to wave a little bit side to side. If that feels like that might be good for you, do it. Take one more full breath in, slide out, and then release like really mindfully. So the foot comes back to the wall, and the right foot comes to the wall, and maybe we stretch both legs up, or you keep them bent, or if you need to put the feet on the floor for a few moments, do that. Just be here. Just going to add a little more flexion into the feet. When my heels are at the wall and the toes are pointing towards my forehead. And then if you have that and you want to add a little bit more in the open the legs, then you start to bring in a pelvic tilt, like you're lifting the low back up off the floor. And see how that is. Without hardening in the face, shoulders. Okay. And then I'll just release that low back down to the floor. And keep the right foot or heel at the wall. Bend the left foot, put it on the floor, and then walk your left foot out to the left. And the toes turn out a little bit, and then just start to wave this knee in and out. And you know, it might not move out at all. It's okay. This is more about the waving in. Do maybe one or two more. And then bring the knee back to center, heel toe that left foot all the way to the right foot, and maybe even underneath the right leg, sorry, underneath the right leg. Drop the left knee towards the floor. So you're like in a half Badakanasana. And just rest here. We're just opening that left front hip crease. Soften the shoulders, the head. And then we'll lift that knee up, and we're going to bring that left knee into your chest. Hug it in for a moment. And then cross this ankle just below the knee. Straighten your leg or bent. We'll just wave this left knee in and out a few times. Just like that. Good. And then we'll open that knee out and bend your right foot to the wall. The left hand can just open this left thigh, and maybe you stay there. Or bring the thigh in, move to thread the needle. You might rock side to side. So make it your own. And soften your breath. Enjoy this, whatever it is for you, enjoy it. And then we'll lovingly release. So right foot to the wall, left foot to the wall, and then stay there with knees bent or straighten the legs. And just going to add that flexion again, just opening the backs of the legs here. So push the heels into the wall, and then it's like you're pulling from the heels right down to the center of your hips. So you might even feel this little arch come in. Okay, and then I'll soften the low back to the floor if you've lifted it. And I'm going to point the feet again here with the legs extended. So maybe you can get all 10 toes to the wall. And even if that doesn't happen today, just find this. Good. Okay, one nice big breath in. Breathe out. And then lower the left foot to the floor, the right foot to the floor. And you could keep I'm going to keep the bolster there, and you take it out if you want to. Okay, we're just going to put the palms underneath the hips. So maybe the thumbs and the index fingers touch. When you lift the hips, you just place the palms down, let the tush rest on your hands. Okay, so what we're going to do, just take a moment, and wherever you place your hands is fine. You might move it a little bit. Drop in. Okay, and then heel toe your feet just a comfortable distance apart. Good. And we're just going to move to windshield wiper. And because we're on the hands here, you might not go that far over to each side. But as you drop the knees, let's say to the left, and the right hip lifts, you can just let it lift a little bit. And you might even walk the hand. Once the hip lifts, you move the hand around so that as you come down and you shift the knees towards that side, you are actually putting a little bit more of a massage into your tush or the sides of your sacrum, sides of your waist, of your hips, sorry, not waist, anatomy. So just rocking and just moving the hands a little bit every time they become free. Spread your fingers as much as you can too. Open hands, open heart, open breath. So just feel like you're, giving yourself a little bit of massage into the tush area. Good. Okay, let's just do one more on each side. And then come to rest. And you could bring the hands into that position where the tips of the thumbs, tips of the index finger are making contact, or some parts of the sides and not really the tips. Widen your fingers and then just melt here. Let the shoulders go if you can. Okay, I'm going to heel toe the feet together and drop the knees out for a Badakanasana. Just enough, you don't need to prop up. We're just going to wave side to side. So the knees are apart from each other. like you have a Suzanne Summers thigh master between your thighs and you're just rocking side to side. Okay, and then maybe you come to just rest in Badakanasana for a couple breaths. If this is not happy for your hip crease, just really press the soles of the feet together, lift the knees up a little more. Nice. One more breath. Good. And then we'll lift the knees up, soles of the feet to the floor, walk your feet maybe in a little bit and apart a little bit. We're going to anchor the feet, lift the hips, take the hands out, just open your arms out to the side with the palms up. Let the hips come down and just rest here for a few moments. Just feel the energy in your hands, and you might even tune into the energy in your tush. Just got a nice little massage. Good. Okay, one big breath in. Breathe out. Good. Let's take your hands up to the bolster, whatever you have underneath your head. Just press it away. Let the head come down for a moment. Good. We're going to take the hands and interlace them behind your head. Let the elbows drop out. Hopefully that's okay for your shoulders. And just take a big breath in and out. Okay. We're going to take those elbows up so they're pointing up to the sky. You'll inhale. As you exhale, draw your belly in, start to lift your head, and you're using the hands to really do the lift. And as you lift the head, use the hands, the arms, let the head almost drop back. Let the jaw go. Okay, if this feels okay, you're okay with your head here, I'm going to bring the right knee in, see if I can touch right knee to right elbow. And then I'm just going to switch. Take the left knee in, left knee to the elbow. And then maybe you do that again, or you bring both knees in. See if you can maybe inside your elbows or to the elbows. Drop the head. And then release both feet to the floor first. And then lower your head like it's a little baby. Take your arms out, stretch them out. You might have your bolster right there to rest the hands on. Okay. So here you have your feet on the floor. Your arms are extended or they're out to the sides or someplace else. We're just going to do a little hip walking with the knee walking, we're going to call it. So you feel your feet on the floor. You're going to press your left knee away. And without moving the feet, so the feet stay on the floor, left knee pushes away, the right knee might come in, and then you'll just switch. So the soles of the feet stay on the floor. You're just moving as if the knees are going for a little walk. And then you could add your arms. So if the left knee pushes away, maybe the left arm stretches more. And then you just switch. If you're rocking a little bit side to side to make that happen, that's okay. Just get some length here. Good. Okay, bring it back to your center. Without lifting your head, bring both knees into your chest, hug them in. Let them just rock in and out for a few moments. Good. Okay. Just going to go to a simple twist. So the arms are out to the side, and I'm just going to drop both knees over to the right. You can put your bolster or whatever you like there. Let's see if you can keep that left shoulder, left arm to the floor as best as you can. So if that's not happening, then you probably need a support underneath your right thigh or right knee. And if you haven't turned your head to the left, just do that now. And smile. And just take maybe 2 or 3 nice deep breaths here as best as you can. Good. Okay. And bring the knees back up. And then just hug them in, rock side to side or front to back. Just massage your back for a moment. And then we'll open the arms out to the side and drop the knees to the left. And same thing. I'm going to try and keep the right shoulder, right arm to the floor. So if that's not happening, add your props and then turn your head when you're ready and just be in this opening. Nice big breath in and breathe out. We'll come to lie on the left side. So you might sweep that right arm up and alongside over your head. And then very gently press yourself upright. Good. We'll just take a moment once you come up. Just be in, that good energy. Okay. And take this bolster. I'm going to keep my heating pad on it just because the joys of it's very nice. Okay, I'm going to put this bolster in the middle of the mat. And let's grab our blocks. And we'll just put those at the front of the mat. Okay, so you'll decide like how this bolster gets placed. You might move it around a little bit. I'm going to start with the knees right behind the bolster. And they could go wider. They don't have to be right touching the bolster. So hands are on the floor and toes are tucked under. Good. I'll just pause here for a moment on your hands and knees. There's this little lift of the heart. And even as it lifts, there's a softening of the heart. Just whatever that means for you, just play with that right now. Good. And then we'll just move into cat-cow. So as you inhale, round your back up to the sky. Then as you exhale, reverse, roll the shoulders back, lift the chin, lift the hips. Good. Reverse, so just moving through very mindfully. Good. Okay, and then yogi's choice here. I'm going to move into a downward facing dog. So I'm just going to walk the hands forward a little bit. And as you exhale, lift yourself up and back. And say yogi's choice if you're not, downward dog isn't your place. You just rest in child's pose or you're sitting mindfully. Good. Anchor your hands, anchor your heels. Feel the lift of the heart and a gentle melting. Okay, one more breath. And then I'm going to lower the right knee. Is going to come down and the left leg is just going to stretch out for a moment. Oh, I'm very close to the wall. I'm just moving up. Just going to shift forward and back a few times. I'm just opening up the calf here. I'm using hands. Good. Okay. Good. And then we'll just switch. Put that left knee against the bolster, stretch the right leg back. And again, just rocking yourself front to back. You get this little wrist stretch happening. And we're opening the calf, articulating your foot. Good. Okay, bring both knees to the bolster. And then from here, guys, I'm going to step that left foot forward. So you can put your hand on the block, take the left foot. Wherever it's going to go here, you're going to adjust. So you find your blocks. Okay, so I'm going to move this bolster back a little bit just because I know I need some space, but I still want the knee on the floor. And I'll just come into a bit of a lunge. So as I move into lunge here, the knee might want to move onto the bolster. If your knee wants to do that, let that happen. And so we have the, what is that, the bottom of the thigh, close to the knee is supported. And just breathe here. Okay, one more breath. A big smile. Okay. And then release that, and you can take your hands off the blocks, or whatever you need to do to bring the left foot or left knee back. I'm just moving my bolster over a little bit, and then we'll step that right foot forward. Again, you can find your blocks, and you take your time. If this is the first time you've used a bolster for lunge, and, oh, what's the point of this? You explore it. Okay, you might pop your knee up there. It might just be the thigh. And then just hang out here and breathe, smile, feel, and rock. I'm just moving a little bit front to back without straightening the leg, just shifting the hips a little bit. Good. Okay, and then bring it on back, both knees in. I'm just going to move the bolster over a little bit.
Find your blocks. And this time I'm going to put the knee on the bolster. So the right knee is right on the bolster. Okay, now we're going to step the left foot forward again. And then you can move your blocks. Okay, so now I'm going to shift myself forward so that I'm on the bolster. I have the right toes tucked under. I'm actually going to lift, like you're going to straighten the leg, come off the bolster, and you're going to turn. So the left foot's going to turn. I'm turning my right foot and I'm laying back on the bolster. I hope that made sense. And then I'm going to just hold right hand on the block, take my left hand off. And this is the pose. So I have my thigh is supported on the bolster. The right, this is my right leg, has turned. Left foot is turned. One more breath. Okay, now we're going to come out. Yeah, go do what you want to do. Come back. And I'm just going to roll like onto, like I'm just moving. So I'm actually massaging, let's say the top of the thigh on the bolster. Use your hands, into the blocks. Good. Okay. And all right. Well, here's the next one is if this works, I walk my blocks over. I'm going to tuck the right toes under, lift it off the bolster, and I'm going to turn. So now I have the right foot is facing up. Maybe the blocks move in front of you to support you, or you come off the blocks. I'm going to take that left heel down, but that's not going to work for everyone. So you just be where you are. Breathe, big opening. Okay, and then come out of that. Delicious, maybe not so delicious. Okay, and very slowly, sometimes it's the journey out that is almost as complicated as everything you just did. Okay, I'm just going to sit on my toes for a moment. You want to do downward dog or whatever you want to do for the in term of it. Move the sleeping puppy. Okay, and then we're going to do all of that on the second side. So I'll just move the bolster a little bit to the left. Whoa, sweater's coming off. That's a good sign. Okay, and then I'll step that right foot forward. We'll come into this, I had the knee. The knee is going to be on the bolster. So make those adjustments. Okay. All right, I have both blocks. The block is to the inside of the right foot, and I'm going to walk the right foot out, turn the toes out. Then the left toes are tucked under. Lift that thigh right up off the bolster. Now I'm going to turn. So I'm on the outer edge of the right foot. I'm going to lay down that thigh. The left foot can be active, and then the left hand stays on the block. Right hand maybe to your thigh. And we just breathe here into whatever's being opened. The side of the waist, you might feel this in your hip crease. Okay, we'll release. Walk your right foot back in, and here's the next part. So I walk the blocks more to the left. I'm going to lift that knee up, and then I pivot the foot, and I'm coming down so that the toes are up. But you know this pose. It's called Skandasana. You might not know the name. You find whatever's happening for you, like whatever you need. You've got bolster there, you've got blocks. Breathe into that opening, big opening. Good. Okay. So from here, we're just going to come to wide-legged forward fold. So I'm going to put my hands on the bolster, bend the knees like your spider person, and then find your wide-legged here. Now you might grab the blocks. Yeah. Oh, let's do a little bit of hip side to side. Once you're here, just rock your hips a little bit, and then you get into the sides of the legs. Yes. Okay, and then we'll fold forward. So do that a few times. And then exhale and fold forward. You might keep your hands on the block. You might put your forearms on the blocks. You might rest on your bolster. Whatever works here, just drop down. Face wide-legged forward fold. Good. One more breath. Okay. And then come back up. I'm going to take the blocks to the front of the mat, turn the legs,
And then, good. Okay, we're gonna come to a wide-legged, pyramid pose. So the front foot stays forward, the back foot comes back, and you just find a comfortable distance. They could also be a little wider apart. And then you have both legs straight-ish. You could be high on your blocks or lower height. And I'm just gonna anchor from the hips into the feet. You might even lift your toes. And then feel once you're here, you can, maybe the crown of your head is stretching forward. And take one more breath. Good. Okay, and then I'm just going to switch legs. So I'll step that right foot back, take the left foot forward. Just find the placement for your blocks. And the legs are straight-ish. They're bent, it's okay. Press into your feet, maybe lift the toes. Crown of the head extends forward. And you breathe. Pardon me. And from here, I'm just going to walk the blocks forward and step the right foot on either side of the bolster. You have your feet. Okay, and we'll heel toe the feet. I'm going to come to sit down. Let it be a journey. And if you need to use your hands, at any point, do that. And we're just going to come to sit. So if it feels like it's way too low, just throw a block underneath. Sit on a block. Okay, and then we'll have so my feet, yeah, that's it. Knees are up, toes are turned out a little bit. Maybe the arms come inside the knees and the knees press back. But if that's not happy for you, you just put your arms wherever. And take a breath, see if you can lift your heart. One more breath. Okay, then I'll release. Actually, I'm just going to move the blocks out of the way. I'm going to take the hands back to the floor. Just find that nice, open hands. Good. Okay, now we just open the shoulders, open the heart, and come to this windshield wiper again a few times here. Totally different plane. Okay, and then anchor the feet. Put your hands in a place like you are going to lift your hips. I'm lifting my hips. You're going to lift your hips. We take an inhale, anchor into the hands and the feet. Exhale, soften the heart back. There's that softening. And then inhale, you lift the heart. Let that be the lift. Bring yourself up here. Maybe you rock front to back if that's available. Good. Good. Upward facing bow pose. Take one more breath. And then lower yourself down. Good. Okay, I'm going to take both feet over to the side and just, we're all going to do this. So I'm just going to take my hips right to the edge. So this is my right hip at the left edge. And then I'm going to put the legs down. And you decide how they go. Maybe together, maybe apart. So the idea here is the right hip is supported and my left hip can drop off. And what that does is you can see like left hip all twisted. As I drop the left hip, I can find, so I have my right foot's turning out. The left shin is resting into the arch of the foot, if that works for you. Okay, and then just feel here. I can drop and lift. Take your time. Yeah. If it feels too low, you just throw a blanket. Okay, so we're just going to start with a little side bend over to this side. If you need a block, hopefully they're not too far away, but you might not. Okay, so we'll put the left hand down. We're going to reach the right arm up. And at the same time as you do that, maybe you even press to the right. You can open. If it's better to bend your elbow, there's some magic there too. So you can feel, oh, here I get bigger side stretch. Here I can get my shoulders a little happier. Let's see what feels better. Good. Okay, now we're going to release. I'm going to take both hands either side of the bolster. I'm going to come down. As I come down, left leg comes up. I'm going to stretch that leg back and then turn my chest more to the floor. Maybe even the head turns to the right. And you really press through that left leg.
You can even move your left leg a little bit behind you, just like in a baby bit. Good. And then come up back to that seated position like nothing happened. You're here. Yes. Okay, we're just going to do that exact same sequence. So you reach the arm up, crescent over, and inhale here. As you exhale, you sweep it over. Remember, it's the journey. The hands come down. I take the left leg, reach it out. You know, this is almost like a balancing pose. It's called fallen angel. Good. And then come up, and let's just do that one more time. So you have to find your sit, take it over. And then last one. Get a fun journey. There's a twist happening here. There's a balance. Even you balance on the bolster. Good. And then we'll come up. We're just going to sit in this Marichyasana pose, the pose of the sage. Okay, we're going to just twist to kind of finish things off. So you'll twist over. The right hand can go inside right thigh or outside. And you just turn. And in the way we're supported here, it's really an upper chest twist. So you find that place, oh, my heart is lifting, my heart is softening. It is both. It's that they're mutually exclusive and they're exactly the same. Okay, one big breath. And then release. And now we're going to change sides and we're going to actually do we're going to do this. So I'm here. So my hands are going to come to the bolster. I'm going to lift my hips. Yeah, now I take the left leg. It's going to come maybe to the center. So I'm going really slow. And then I'll take the right knee over top of the left knee and just, oh, I screwed that up. Worked a lot better when I did it yesterday. Okay, roll yourself over to the other side. Joe tries to be so creative and sometimes it doesn't always work. That's okay. Okay, so you're sitting with the left hip on the bolster now. You arrange your legs. So I have my left toes are pointing out and the right shin is just resting in the arch of the foot. And just take a moment or two to be here. Let that right hip drop. So it's dropping, and then that maybe brings you more upright. So you just be with whatever it is. So the right hip is dropping, crown of the head extending, and you feel that. You find it for yourself. And then we're going to side bend. So put the right hand down or maybe on a block, left arm up, and we're going to be here for a bit. So, I said this, if you want to bend your elbow, maybe that's better for you. You see what works. Okay. And just breathe into the space. Okay, and then inhale as you are. On the exhale, take both hands either side of the bolster. There's a twist. You lay your chest down, sweep that right leg out, press out through your heel. Maybe the head turns to the left. Good. Okay, and then extricate yourself out with love and devotion and conscious to just move into the side bend. So it's a big inhale here, and then it's the exhale that takes you out and core, twisting, feeling, stretching. And we'll just do that one more time. You just find your way. You're moving with your breath. Yes. And then bring it on back. Last time. Any indication on the changing side. So that's what's going to happen. First, we'll come up whenever you get here. You adjust what you need. So the right hip is dropping, and then we're going to go to twist. So left hand, maybe inside left knee might be perfect. Outside left knee. A little more. Breathe. Good. Okay. So maybe I overthink it. I'm just going to take the hands over, lift the hips. Yeah, I overthink it. Just move yours. I'll just do it again. Here we go. Ta-da. Do one more. There we go. Okay, just rolling around. It's good, good work. Okay, come off your bolster. Great. All right, we're gonna take a supported bridge pose with the bolster. So I'll take a blanket, just open it up. A nice support for your head and your shoulders. Okay, if doing this on the bolster, you prefer to just put a block under your hips, you can take the bolster out completely. I'm gonna use the bolster. And so we'll just sit kind of in the middle. Yeah, and then when you come down, you feel like that bolster is hitting, maybe at the bottom tips of the ribs, the shoulder blades, and the shoulders can come down, the head's down. You can keep your knees bent. I might even go to basic resting pose with the knees wide, feet wide, knees together. But if that's not a happy for you, you can just find a little happy. And okay, so most likely you might need to move up. The back of the head should be resting comfortably, the shoulders resting comfortably. So you can move down off the bolster a little bit, or you have a block under your hips, or even the bolster under your hips. You're still getting the lift of the hips, it's just here we're opening the heart. And then nothing to do here, but just simply be. Let's melt the heart space down as if it wants to just rest to the backs of the ribs. And feel your ribs, backs of your ribs, shoulder blades resting towards the floor. Okay, at the same time as all of that is happening, the other thing that's happening is we're encouraging the breath to move more into the upper lungs. So just start to feel that. As I say that, I start to cough, right? You can breathe right into the upper chest a little bit more. And even as you're opening the upper chest, the diaphragm is also being opened. You can put your hands on your solar plexus area, the place between the ribs or the low belly, and just feel yourself being breathed in. Softening whatever might be impinging or hindering this flow of breath. Really release this breath for the next few, like just melt in as deep as you can. Okay. Oh. Okay, I'm just going to change this pose just so little. So we're going to lift the hips. I'm going to slide the bolster out from underneath me down, so it's just below the hips and on the floor. And then you're going to kick it over a little bit so that the right leg can rest on the bolster. So it's right up to, let's say, the top of the thigh, the back. So your leg is just lying over the bolster, whole heart, chest, head resting. Good. And then we'll open the arms out to the side, and I'm going to walk the left foot out a little bit. And we're just going to wave that knee in and out. Not really about the out so much as it is about the in. So when you bring that knee in, maybe it touches your right thigh, maybe not. Let's do that a few times. Notice if your hands start to kind of take on a little bit of muscular effort. Keep the palms relaxed. Good. Okay. And then walk that left foot right to the bolster, and we're going to drop that left knee out as if we're doing a tree pose, Badakanasana. Let's take a few breaths here. Just rest into the shape. Feel like your left leg is floating on a cushion, as it is. Get one more breath in. Breathe out. And then we're going to bring we'll lift the left knee up, readjust to your hips or whatever you need, and now bring this left knee into your chest.
Okay, if you need to bend the right leg, you're going to do that. I'm going to add flexion into the feet. I'm going to press out through the right underside of the leg. So we had the heels at the wall, and I said, pull that energy from the heel to the hip. Now I'm pushing out. And at the same time as I push out, I'm going to ground into the bolster. Good. Okay. All right. Bend your right leg, right foot to the bolster. Cross your left knee over this right knee. And then maybe you do a little bit of rocking. So it's not so much, the sole of the right foot stays. And then we'll bring this package into your chest for thread the needle. Or you stay bent, it's all fine. It's getting some opening, some softening, a little flexion in the feet. Most likely, you're dropping a little bit to the left, shift to the right. One more big breath in. And breathe out, release, mindfully release. So right foot comes down and the left foot. Now you're going to just move that bolster over. Use your feet to do that. It's good brain gym. And then extend the left leg over the bolster so it's on a cushion. Just take a few moments wherever you have your arms, spine. Let the left leg receive this palatial support. I'm going to open my arms out to the side and heel toe that right foot out to the right. And then again, just moving in and out of that knee. The out might feel challenging and a little bit stuck. That's not completely unusual. And just let this knee move into the inside. The outside is just that prep. Good. Okay, and then walking your right foot back in right against the bolster, and we'll move it into a bolster supported tree pose. And nothing to do here, but breathe and release any tension in the face, and this opening in the pelvic floor. And then we'll bend the knee, bring the knee into your chest, just hug it in. A few moments. I'm going to add the flexion into the left heel. I'm pressing out through the whole underside of the leg. And then pressing into the bolster, the leg. Good, and then soften whatever effort you're doing. Bend the left foot to the bolster, cross right ankle over left knee. Open your arms out to the side and just wave it a little bit side to side. And then we'll go thread the needle on this side. So make it your own. Change the interlace of your fingers. You might shift a little bit to the right, release your jaw, your shoulders, a little flexion in the feet. And melting the belly to the back. Might bring up a little bit more. And then release your feet, maybe either side of the bolster for a moment. Just a couple of windshield wipers just to release your back. And maybe a happy baby. And then we're going to slip into Shavasana. So, do whatever feels good. If you're in happy baby, you want to rock side to side. And one foot into the groins as the other leg extends. Just invite a little playfulness. Okay. We'll move into Shavasana. And I'm just going to turn the bolster, and that's just going to support the knees and the thighs. It's the heating pad where you like it. Make yourself comfortable. Take the time, even though we might be impinging on our Shavasana time, but to make ourselves warm and cozy will get you in there so much quicker. So I'm just going to cover my feet. Hurry up and relax as quick as you can, but taking the time to make sure you're going to be comfortable and happy. Okay. Deeply surrendering You surrender all control. It's like when you get into a hot bath, and you're just, all done, take me away. From Shavasana, take me away. Rest. Staying in your rest, bringing your attention to your palms, just feeling your hands relax and fingers gently curling. I'm just going to fold these hands onto your belly or your heart or just someplace on your body for a few moments, just receiving the energy in your hands. Let that be that gentle release to gravity. We'll take these hands and just gently rub the palms together for a moment or two. And we'll place, bless me, place these palms over your eyes for a few moments. Let the jaw go, the cheeks hang heavy, gentle press around the eye socket. And then moving on from here, you slowly remove the hands from the eyes, just so slow. You might stretch your arms over your head and wiggle your fingers and your toes. And just create any movements that feel called for here as you bring yourself back in a really loving, nourishing way. Taking your time. It's not about the coming to sit up, it's about how you get there. So allowing lots of space and time to just pause and feel. And know that as you do that, you're sending all that good energy into the space you're in. So even as we come upright to sitting and take a few moments to just bask in the afterglow. And tune in with your eyes closed to the air around you, magical energies and feelings, just being in your sacred space evoke. So as you're ready, inhale and lengthen, and as you exhale, bring the palms together at your heart, bow your chin. With reverence for your practice, for your movements, for this body, and for your sacred space.
And then to that, friends, we'll evoke our mantra, or may we be blessed mantra, and seal it with an Om. Inhale. May we be blessed with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be healthy and may we be happy. Inhale. Exhale your breath into your hands. Catch that breath. Lift your chin and open your eyes and offer this home. And then we offer it to the space we're in and outside of that space, our loved ones, people we don't know. Anyone who needs it. And so much love and honor. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a great rest of your day. See you guys. See you soon. So much love. Oh, the sun is right on you, Anne. Yes, bask in that. All right. Take care, guys. See you soon.